Hello, this is Clone Wars Weekly with your hosts, Corey.
Avatar.
And we also have a new host on here. It's Jedi Master Ronin.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. And today is going to be a double feature since Patil took too long with the episode upload of Revival, so I had to
You're
do it
welcome,
myself.
bacon people of the world.
Yeah, so now we're going to be doing a double feature. On the two episodes, War on Two Fronts and I think it's called Frontrunners at Tipping Points, whatever.
It's just
Front
front
runners.
runners.
Okay. Yeah, so in the first episode, War on Two Fronts. Yeah. What did everyone think?
I liked it. Well, it was better than I expected.
That
Yeah.
was about the same for me.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but it was
Yeah.
at
Better
least
than I expected.
it wasn't as dumb as Revival. So
Well, you didn't like Revival?
yeah, did you see my review?
I thought it was like an adequate episode. It wasn't meant to be like the highlight of the arc. It was mostly just like
Yeah.
one of the episodes was building up to the bigger
It was
climax.
okay. Yeah. By my standards. Like, I thought it was going to suck just because of Bon Terry, but it had a lot to offer, like, otherwise. Like, it had a lot more, like, it had some great looking scenery in there, and, like...
That it did.
Yeah,
It was Onderon,
the creatures look great, and, like, plus, I really like the new character, Saw.
Hey, I'll give you that. He's not bad.
Yeah, Saw, I think is really good. Yeah, he's awesome, like, for multiple reasons, in my opinion.
Well,
Like,
You just like him because he bullies Bon Terry, Corey.
Yeah.
doesn't everybody?
That's like the only reason you like him.
Doesn't everybody?
I
And,
don't know, I
like, he's also,
because-
like, Ahsoka's apparent new love interest.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I can't wait to see how that plays out.
Anything but Bon Terry.
Bon Terry can suck it. He was awful.
You're
As
just
I
saying
said,
that
people always make random pairings anyway.
Katsuka.
Yeah.
And for the first episode, I did like those pterodactyl looking things that they're riding
Yeah.
on. They look kind of cool.
The whole episode, it really showcased their improved animation. There were a couple times in it where I just paused the episode so I
Yeah,
could
plus,
look at some of its
I thought
gorgeous
that-
scenery.
Yeah. And I thought the training sequences were interesting.
For the
Yeah, they were
very
pretty good.
purpose of explaining what droids are like, it showcased some of their weaknesses. It was all very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the episode for what it was. It was just supposed to be like the first episode, the build up episode,
Yeah.
and I like how they're bringing in like planets from the EU, good EU.
Yeah, like Onderon. Yeah.
Which are some KOTOR too. But yeah, it was I liked it was visually appealing. But a lot of people on a lot of the forums I was on and on the Facebook pages, they actually didn't like how the episode looked. They thought it was poorly done.
This episode also, I don't know, it seemed to me like they were bringing back sort of the lighthearted feel, more season 1-esque. And I had no problem with that because I've been sick of them doing dark for dark's sake, as I put it.
Yeah, and another thing, like, something that bothered me with this episode is that, like, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Rex were there for, like, no reason. Like, they
Yeah.
just brought him in there just to have him there. Like, they could have
That's even
just
more
simply...
true in the next episode.
Oh yeah, the next
Yeah.
episode
They could have just simply let Ahsoka train all these rebels. Yeah, because she's, like, near their age and she's developing a love interest with, like, Saw. Yeah.
God, how many times are you gonna bring up this pairing you think there is?
Let me count.
But I agree. If this whole episode had just been about the rebels, then it might have made even more sense but I don't think they were willing to do that because it's supposed to be Clone Wars, and that means we got to have these characters in it. This, and this.
Yeah, they should have just stuck with Ahsoka and, like, let her train these rebels by herself.
What I was wondering, why did Rex show up in some non-clone outfit?
I don't
It's
know.
pretty ridiculous.
Was there a point to it, or
I
was
don't
that
think there
just-
was a point.
I assume it's supposed to be camouflage, but
What? What's he trying to camouflage from?
all right. Well, it doesn't stand out quite as much as bright white armor.
But I just don't get why. Why did they put him in?
I don't know. Maybe for training gear or something. I don't really care.
Oh,
It's his vacation gear.
I don't know. That was just one thing that stood out. I mean, I don't know. Seeing Rex in like an outfit that wasn't. He like cloned it.
But the major crapper about this episode was Bonteri.
Sorry. It's an excuse for them to make a new action figure. That's what I'm thinking.
And they barely make any action figures for Clone Wars nowadays.
I know, but if they do, it'll be this.
Oh yeah, you
Rex
can
and
just
Andron gear.
What were you saying, Corey? The one bad thing.
The major crapper about this episode, Bonteri, hands down.
We all knew you were gonna say that. Like,
Yeah.
just a
I
given.
think everyone here hates him.
I do not like Bonteri at all, but I found Steela to be more annoying than Bonteri.
What?
It's possible.
That is like I didn't. I mean, she's one of those
so
characters.
Annoying.
Well,
And that's even more showcased in the next episode.
I think they're trying to make her out to be one of those characters that grows on you over time.
Like mold.
It's supposed to. Well, it's not really.
Well, she was kind of shallow in this episode, but I think she's supposed to develop over time.
I don't know. Like at first, they make her out to be Lux's apparently love interest.
Yeah,
and then really
we see that she is Bonteri's girlfriend.
But they look like they're like 20 or 30 years apart in age.
Who gives a crap?
Just
She can be a pedophile if she wants, as long as she keeps Bonteri away from Ahsoka.
Hey, I'll give you that. I don't mind that so much.
Exactly.
Still, it just looks awkward.
It
She
does.
looks old enough to be his mother. Like, it's just weird when you look at it that way. At least Saw and Ahsoka, he looks about her age, I guess, or a little bit older. Still, it's. I don't care much for these love pairings in the show.
What are our overall thoughts on this episode?
Yeah.
It was adequate. Nothing was.
It was okay.
It was pretty boring. Scenery was great. I'm glad that they were getting back to the funny droids and lighthearted feel of the older series.
Yeah.
But the lack of anything substantial makes it a very bland episode.
Very bleak.
Yeah.
It was very, droll.
Yeah, it was okay, so let's leave it at that. Like, overall rating, I have to give it, like, between 5 and a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it about a 5, too.
Yeah, I don't know, 2.5 out of 5.
Oh,
What?
You're really not liking this arc so far.
Next episode, like...
Here's front runners now.
Yeah, front runners. Yeah.
This one was, again, it's one of those episodes. It's just kind of there for filler. I think it's basically there just to it's just there so they can say they have a 4-part arc. So they put like really.
Sorry.
It's like in the Bounty Hunter arc. That the second episode of that did not have to be present at all. It's like this one. Second episode, it probably didn't have to be there.
There were things I liked about it.
Well,
I'm going to mention those.
I liked it more than I liked, like, the first episode. Like, it was more action-filled. I have to give it that.
Corey's like Michael Bay. All he likes is explosions and tits.
Hey, Michael Bay is my father.
That's not good.
Hey, come on! Come on!
I
know
don't.
you want to
it's
say
hard
it
to tell what to say about this episode. I mean,
You know
it
you
was
want to
just
say it
so-
sucks. I know
so
you want.
bland.
Yeah, like,
I'm not invested at
one
all
of the
in
bland
story.
things about this episode is Bonteri himself.
How many more times are you going to bring up Bonteri?
A million.
I'm not even going to mention him again because
There's no point anymore.
right.
He's just there. He's integral.
It's like
now.
the new
He's-
Jar Jar for me.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think Jar Jar is pretty.
I know you hate Jar Jar.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know. The episode it's like the first one for me. It was adequate. It didn't
Yeah.
really do anything special.
I like this episode better than the first one because more excuses to abuse Bonteri. Like, we have a commando droid punch him in the face. He fails miserably when trying to disable a droideka, and
Yes.
yeah, and more people insult him. Like, there's more of Saw like throwing insults at him. Yeah.
I think that's the only reason you like Saw, is because he insults a bunch of
Hey,
people.
Saw is friggin' awesome.
I really, really liked the concept behind this with the rebellion and fighting in the streets. It was all very, very interesting
Yeah.
concept-wise.
And I liked that, like, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Rex left, so that
Yes.
it'd be more of Ahsoka.
Yes, I would say that too, because it was neat seeing some of the characters we haven't before. Unfortunately, I don't happen to like any of them aside from Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't have minded if Obi-Wan had stayed. I love Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's cool. Overused like crazy, but really cool.
I
Yeah.
bet in this season he's gonna be way overused.
Yeah, they're gonna spam Obi-Wan like every chance they get.
Yeah, like in the Clovis arc, he probably has no place in that, but they're gonna show him in there anyway.
And then he's gonna have a major part in the Maul arc. It's gonna be like an Obi-Wan heavy season. But again, as I've said before, I'd rather have Obi-Wan spammed than Anakin.
One of the biggest issues I had with this is that they don't show at all any reason to root for the rebels. It's just the CIS are bad guys, and the
Yeah,
rebels are
like,
good guys.
The rebels are actually scaring people.
I know.
And
Yeah.
like whenever like Bonteri throws a grenade in the middle of the streets and like disables some battle droids, people freak out.
Right.
Like especially
There
even
was
whenever
there was one instance where a droid was checking some guy's identification, I think,
and then Soul blew him up.
that it didn't appear that they were hassling anyone else. There's no examples at all of the droids oppressing the people here, and because of that, I'm not interested at all.
It's
King's
like
a douche.
the droids on Raxx, which were actually polite droids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like these droids are actually following protocol and like they're pretty much just like cops.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like these rebels come out of nowhere and start killing them. It's like brutal. It's like, are we supposed to be rooting for these people? They attack these droids for no reason.
Mm-hmm. If I understand what the larger plot is supposed to be, that the droid's presence here is bad and that they're causing problems and such, but we don't see any of that. It's just alluded to.
Yeah.
And the king, I don't know.
He's a
He
douche.
doesn't seem like that bad of a fellow.
Yeah,
He's got a very much
he's
an
interesting.
purple fruit, but
No,
he has a purple fruit fetish.
Personally,
Yeah.
I didn't really like the King character that.
oh, me
Like,
neither.
I liked him.
He came off. He just came off as one of those. He's like Tamsin.
If there's
This
one thing I'm interested in, and that's that new commander that's coming.
Yeah, he looked
Riaz.
awesome.
Yeah, the three-eyed droid that
And
Dooku.
I've been groaning and sighing the whole episode, and then all of a sudden you get this really cool looking droid, I think, and it's like, whoa, this might suddenly get interesting.
Yeah, it looks. I did like the design of the droid, that they're making like something different. They're not just reusing old. Like if they sent a tactical droid, probably one
Looks a bit like the tactical droid with a very uniquely
Looks
designed
like
face.
a tactical droid that they have put a ton of upgrades on.
Yeah, it looks unique. It's like something we haven't seen over and over
And
again.
I feel like that's a great chance for them to save this arc.